Hello everyone, welcome to the first stream of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Tainted Love. We are just waiting for a few people to join the channel so I can get all my players in here, and we'll begin then. Until then, enjoy royalty-free 80s synthwave music. Alright, let's see what the others are. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. It looks like Doge is running a little late, so he'll be here. Hello, Mac. You got stuck at work? Alright. It's okay. We're waiting on Doge and Rexon still. Yeah, we'll move it back a bit. I'm having trouble right now with the stream.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but I don't mind you being here, Taco.
I don't mind either. I'm pretty sure I asked you if you were gonna spectate, so.
I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but
What did you think of the battle map that I drew for the kids, bro? I don't mind either. I'm pretty sure I asked you if you were gonna spectate, so. Yeah, they worked on their characters today. What did you think of the battle map that I drew for the kids, bro? I don't mind either. I'm pretty sure I asked you if you were gonna spectate, so. A paladin. A wizard. And a ranger.
Hell yeah. Do you have a little mission for your kids planned out, or?
Yeah, we're just gonna do the Legend of the Thessal Hydra.
Oh, that's cute.
So I've got minis for that.
Is that hit rapper and artist the Doge?
Perhaps.
Wonder Carson's alright. It's not like him to be late.
Yeah. He reacted to it, so I'm worried if he's okay.
Yeah, he messaged me around 4, but he didn't seem like he was...
He's pretty upset today about something that happened in Hawthorne. I don't know if he's still dealing with that.
Oh, Hawthorne stuff happened? That's not great.
Oh, Luo kind of fucked him over.
Oh.
Hi, Rickson.
Sorry,
Hello,
I
Rickson.
lost track of time, I'm sorry.
It is all good. Is everyone ready to start?
Yeah, I'll get on the roll
Yes.
20 1 second.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
No music playing. What the fuck?
There is music playing. It's in the.
Where's our theme song?
There's just general synthwave playing. Is that not?
Oh, I had it muted.
Where's our commissioned anime openings, bro?
No, what the
listen,
fuck?
listen. When I make sufficient merchandising money off of the back of your guys' character and personality, I'll commission an anime opening intro for you all. How about that?
You gotta have a different one for every arc.
Mm-hmm. You gotta start a Jojo's Patreon. Everyone subscribe to the Patreon so I can pay animators. All right. Is everyone good to rock and roll?
I am gonna go with the stand name Take On Me, but we have to think of an English localization for that later.
Yeah.
I just went with Whip It because obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, the English name is Take Me On.
Yeah.
Yeah, take me on. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Nobody's part. Tainted Love. We've got the four of you playing some very iconic characters. You all know each other relatively well already in the sense that I don't need to do introductions for you all, so we can move on from that and just introduce your characters as we get to them. The year is 1981. Miami is in the midst of its violent war with drugs, cartels, mobs, and all sorts of criminal elements. Most recently, a new drug has hit the streets of Miami. A chemical by the name of Right Fix. It's rumored that it's some kind of stimulant, some sort of combat drug developed by the CIA spilling into the civilian market. Some rumors of this drug float around that it's paranormal, but easily dismissible by most authorities as being just that, rumors. Though, one of our characters here has gotten their hands on a dose of Right Fix. Unwittingly, and perhaps unknowingly, they've subjected themselves to a dosage of Right Fix and survived its rather trippy effects. We open with a mansion overlooking the Gulf, opulent and built into the cliffside. It belies a sense of wealth, but wealth spent frivolously. We open specifically on a couch where our titular character comes to wake after a night-long bender. Oops, let me turn on dynamic lighting. We totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I saw this part of the walls painted in.
I see. Naruhodo. Alright, let me set up a observer token too, which I forgot.
When you mentioned opulence and imperial on the cliff, I'm like, it's just right.
Yes. The British man hears Imperial and goes, "My
I'm
people."
opulent. I think ruin has come to my family.
All right. Jocelyn, you wake up on a rather plush, though slightly sticky and stained couch of food and drink, liquor and alcohol have spilled across the fabric. Though it's that weird faux pleather that, it'll wipe off easily, that was so popular in the 80s.
Is it carpeted flooring everywhere?
It is, in fact, linoleum, which was the only flooring more popular in the 80s than
Oh, right.
than carpeting. No linoleum, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry, no carpeting, I'm afraid. It's a strange environment you find yourself in, Jocelyn. It's not the first time you've woken up in a stranger's house, though last you remember was one hell of a binge last night. You had just, come into Miami. For what reason? Why, it's hard to dispel the fog of whatever you took last night. Why were you in Miami again?
How much did I drink last night? Wait. Where the hell am I? So, the reason that she came to Miami, she can vaguely recall, just coming into now. Like, the first thing she feels like is she's been in a bicycle accident, and that leads her to believe, like, oh shit, I was here for, that competition.
Yes, the bicycle, or not bicycle, BMX competition.
Mm-hmm. Did that already happen?
It has not happened yet. Thankfully.
Thankfully. What day is it again?
Having a bit of trouble here. Give me a moment. I'm trying to get the lighting to work, but it does not seem like it wants to. So, we might have to forego.
You can just use
lighting.
advanced fog of war or something. Or just use fog of war to kind of reveal areas, I guess.
Yeah. We'll settle on that. Let me undo the dynamic lighting.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it.
All right. Let me know if you are able to see.
Can't see.
Unfortunate. Let's see.
Oh! I saw for a second and then it's gone.
No.
Because you moved us to another map.
Yeah, I was trying to refresh it. It seems like my Roll20 is unfortunately desyncing. Actually, you know what it is? It's my better VTT. I'm gonna disable that module real quick. Alright. There we go. Can everyone
Oh,
see
there
that?
we go. Yeah. I mean, I can see everything, but yeah.
Alright, that's good enough. So, yeah, Jocelyn, you find yourself in what appears to be some kind of living room. A large TV has been well constructed to look like it's almost flat screen until you realize that it's just been recessed into the wall with only a little poking out. And you realize that this is in fact just a normal TV. So, opulent, but not quite that opulent.
She's gonna take a look around. Like, is she clothed?
You are clothed. It seems that the party didn't go that wild last night.
Okay. She's gonna search for a remote.
You search for a remote. It's buried between two cushions alongside a collection of change and what appears to be a coupon for a nearby pizza delivery place offering a 2-for-1 for $4.99.
It's a pretty good deal, actually. If she can get the remote, she's gonna want to turn it on just to kind of find out what the hell time it is.
You turn on the remote and it turns on to a local news station. It appears that they're in the middle of their weather forecast broadcast, informing you that it's going to be a blistering 91 in the Miami heat outside. And you have only sunny days to look forward to. And after that, it cuts to the 8 a.m. news.
Oh, it's the 8 a.m. news. Okay, so she was worried that she overslept, so she's gonna try to remember, like, where the hell this is meant to be. If this is meant to be like a place that she remembers partying in, or is this a place that she just wound up in after a party?
All right, and now we come to the first check of the game. So, Jocelyn, you're attempting to sort of dispel the foggy haze of a sort of drug binge last night. So I'm going to ask you to roll me a brains check. So a brains check is a 1d6 plus your brains modifier.
Okay. I believe there's a... Is there a button on the sheet to roll that, or is it just I have to...
No. There should be if you just open up your sheet.
Yeah.
You can just press brains, if I'm not mistaken. Is that not an option?
Oh, yes.
Well, you're not sure where you are, but clearly there was some sort of party going on here. And you definitely partook a lot. Judging from when you look around, the sort of various stains on the couch where you were laying in, as well as some discarded drug paraphernalia, you see sort of like remnants
what type of drugs?
It looks like a mixture of everything. You see empty pill bottles, sort of like scattered white grains of some sort of powder on the glass couch table in front of you. In addition, you see sort of like it looks almost like a vial of some kind with almost like a CPAP inhaler that you sort of fit over your nose and mouth. You can't see what was in it. It's empty now, but whatever you took, that seems pretty gnarly. Maybe it's some sort of like extreme whippet.
Mm-hmm.
But this definitely is a stranger's house. You've not been here before, at any rate.
Okay, well, she doesn't know where the fuck she is. So what Jocelyn is going to do is she's going to get all of her stuff that she can remember, and she's just going to try and find a way out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see, sort of as you get up, a large section of this mansion is consumed by a large and wide, completely glass window wall that overlooks a small sort of patio-like dock where water sort of laps against the struts holding it up.
Is it south-facing or east-facing?
It's southeast-facing. You're looking into the Gulf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this should be like a good bit of sunlight then, kind of streaming in.
Yes.
In the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. She's gonna wander down. Is this like a glass door or?
It is a glass door. Yes.
Like a balcony door. She's gonna want to take a breath of fresh air to kind of at least help her cleanse, like probably the extremely nauseating taste at the back of her throat right now.
Yeah. You step outside and the The salty breeze air hits you. It's humid is the first thing that you notice. Stepping outside, the Miami air, well, it's like walking into a wall of wet.
Yep.
Your skin just immediately begins to feel moist and sticky the moment you step outside. And you can almost feel the cool air of the mansion just immediately escape as you open the seal of the glass door.
So the humidity just kind of penetrates through like clothing, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay. So you could say it's critically moist then.
It is critically moist. Yes.
Okay.
It's
She's gonna just
turbo
take a
moist.
moment. It's turbo moist. She's gonna take a moment to kind of breathe. Just breathe. First of all, is it like a beach by the house, or is it just water? Like, is it is it like on a cliff? Is it like a beach, or is it straight up like sheer cliff down?
It's like a sheer cliff. It's like a sheer cliff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She
Yeah.
wants
If
to
you
try-
like, if you take a look to like the left and right, about 100 meters to the left and 100 meters to the right, you can see beachside begin to start spreading out once more. But from where you're sitting, there's no beach.
Gotcha. And from the view that she can see, like, how big does this mansion kind of look?
It's not that large. Well, it is pretty large. It is actually very large, but most of it seems to be it's large in context. It seems that it's been dug directly into the cliffside itself, which is a feat of engineering that's relatively impressive. Even though you're not some sort of engineering student, you understand that that's actually impressive. But more importantly, you see that there's a second floor. As you look up, you can see the building jutting out slightly above you, and it looks like there's another layer or level to this mansion.
Okay. So she's used to, ending up in random places, and then come morning she ducks out the window and kind of heads off if she can't find like her way out through ordinary means. This doesn't seem like one of those cases, so she's gonna sigh, groan, bite the bullet, and what she's gonna do is she's just gonna wander back inside to try and find just a way out.
As you step inside, a man exits out of what appears to be a bedroom from the brief glimpse that you can see of it. He's dressed in a very pretentious manner. It looks to be like a white button-up and with like an unbuttoned pink Armani suit sort of draped over it almost. He does not wear his arms through the sleeves of the Armani suit. Instead, they sort of like dangle to the side behind him, almost like little capelets.
Oh, so he's wearing it like almost like a tailcoat, essentially.
Almost, yeah. It's just sort of slung over around his shoulders. He is wearing sunglasses inside, but you can see him sort of like pull them down a bit as he peers over the edge at you, and he goes, "Damn, you're still alive?"
Jocelyn is gonna try to remember who the hell this JC Denton-looking guy is.
Roll me another brains check as you attempt to recall who this fellow is that you met last night.
I love this.
It's hard to tell. You remember a name, Michael, but as for like a Michael who, what he is, or what he does, or who he is, no idea. Michael, though, that screams out to you.
Yeah. Michael, was it?
Hey, you still have all of your faculties, too. Yeah, Michael. I thought you were just OD'd on the couch. I was about to, make breakfast and then dump your body in the bay, but it seems I don't have to do that part.
Is that how you treat all your guests?
Just the ones that crash on my couch without a pulse.
What the fuck is everybody else?
They left. I kicked them out.
But you'd have me to stay?
Well, yeah, you were a dead body, and I wasn't gonna head out into the bay in the middle of the night.
Can can I get a glass of water or something? My throat just. Ugh.
Sure thing. As he begins rummaging in the cupboards. By the way, I can't help but notice you dug through my stash while that party last night.
Your stash?
You know, my supply. He comes back with like a glass of water from a very pretentious-looking Brita filter that seems like it was constructed as like some sort of artwork.
Amazing. She's gonna take the glass and she's gonna look at it for like a moment to see if something's been dropped inside, just in case.
Yeah, it looks like perfectly clear water.
Okay, she's gonna drink it then. Thanks. Your stash, yeah. Don't remember that. Maybe it was someone else?
He looks to the couch where the remnants of your drug-fueled frenzy are still scattered, and then back to you. Yeah, maybe someone else.
Oh, that, I was, looking after it for a friend. They had some, and he said that everybody had to go, so they're in the bathroom. I was gonna look at it for them, and that was the last thing I remember.
Yeah, it was an interesting night. I don't blame you. You wouldn't happen to have any cash on you for that, would you?
She's gonna check her pockets.
You find your wallet, and your passport and your ID and all that stuff is still there. So no one's looted you while you slept or allegedly were dead, according to Michael.
How much cash is in the wallet?
You've got a 50, a 20, and 3 10s.
A 50, a 20, and 3 10s, so $100.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of need this to get. How about I write an IOU for you?
An IOU.
Yeah, like, money's gonna come soon. I mean, I just won a contest. They're gonna get money in the bank to me relatively soon. Don't really, carry too much cash around. This is just for stuff on the fly,
You see a look of anger sort of cross his face before it's quickly wiped away with an amenable smile. You know what? Don't worry about it. On the house.
Well, thanks. You sure?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm pretty well off. Anyway,
I mean,
whatever he was gonna say is cut off as a sound of shattering glass and splintering wood sounds from upstairs. In addition to that, you can hear the sound of an approaching motor. A large speedboat, seems to be approaching the sort of patio dock from the water. Aboard it are several well-dressed men in suits. Some you can spot have tattoos, almost Asian in influence across their faces and exposed skin. You see Michael sort of like tilt his glasses down again, peering over the edge, before pushing his glasses up. Ah, shit. Hey, 1 second, come here.
what?
He gets close. Sort of like leaning in to whisper, I need you to do me a favor.
A favor? What? Who are these? Who are these guys?
As he leans in to whisper, and the last thing you remember is him opening his mouth to speak. And then it's black.
His mouth is black, or it all fades to black?
Like, it all fades to black.
Okay.
Next thing you know, you're out of breath. You find yourself in an alley of some kind. Man stands behind you with sort of slicked back hair, going to shoulder length, sunglasses, and a thin mustache as he draws what appears to be a small pocket knife from beneath his waistband. You don't know where you are. You don't remember getting here. He approaches you, drawing the knife and flicking it open. Hand over the vial. You don't get hurt.
Where am I? Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck am I? I've been chasing you all over Miami. I've called in my backup, and unless you want to end up a corpse, hand over the vial. I know you have it.
What vial? What's going on?
Having enough of your obviously an act of confusion, the man steps forward, brandishing the knife. We're going to hop into combat real quick.
She's not going down without a fight.
Go ahead and roll me your bronze as your initiative roll.
Oh, it's bronze for initiative. Interesting.
Yes, so 1d6 plus bronze.
I've rolled a 1 for all of them.
Oh my god.
What the fuck have you done to my dice, bro?
Alright, looks like I'm going to have to add you to the initiative.
Oh shit, I didn't click my token.
No, clicking the token does not add you for some reason, so.
Okay.
7 and 5. So, combat in Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Tabletop is relatively simple. It's pretty creative. The way it works is you have your turn, and on your turn you have your main action and a secondary action. It's not very specific as to what a main and secondary action are limited in scope to. It's essentially whatever you want to do. If it's interacting with an enemy, will probably cost you a main action, whereas your secondary action, that's gonna be, things like opening doors, reloading weapons, interacting with the environment. That's your secondary action.
Are there actions off turns, like reactions?
Yes, actually. You can attempt to delay your turn to take your turn at another point in the initiative order if you want to take reactions. Alternatively, there are what are called secret actions, which we'll get into at another tutorial. In this case, we're just going to cover the basics of combat. Speaking of the basics, the man makes a quick lunge at you with a knife, drawing it up to stab it, plunging it toward your stomach.
Do we have any combat music? Any chance, Sprout?
No, I'm afraid not. I just have smooth 80s synth.
I've got a list if that's okay. I could play if that's okay.
Alright, yeah, slap it in. So, for the way combat works, a character declares their action. In this case, the Yakuza thug is drawing his knife and attempting to stab Jocelyn in the stomach. The target of the action can then declare how they're going to counteract, essentially. You just simply declare what your character is doing to prevent being stabbed in the stomach. So, Rexon, what is Jocelyn going to do?
So I think we agreed that I don't yet have my stand.
Correct.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kick the knife out of his hands.
Alright. So,
she's got legs and she's going to use them.
This is going to be a contested bronze check. The Yakuza thug will roll his bronze check, wielding a knife. You will simply roll your bronze check as your own physical attack. So you would roll a 1d6 plus your bronze modifier, and the Yakuza will roll a 1d6 for a small weapon plus his bronze modifier.
Okay.
So the Yakuza rolls an 8.
It's gonna be hard
Holy
to beat.
shit.
Oh!
There you go. When it counts.
All right.
baby.
Jocelyn, you see as he rushes forward, gripping the knife and attempting to plunge it toward your stomach. You act quickly, your foot lashing out, kicking the blade from his hand as you see the knife spinning off into the distance. He clutches his hand in a gasp of pain as you see a few fingers bent, broken, as he sort of snapped them against the handle of the knife. You've done 2 damage to him. Whenever a contest of actions occurs, regardless of whether you're the attacker or the defender, whoever rolled higher, any remaining damage gets rolled over the contested roll, and that's the amount of damage that the loser of the contest takes. In this case, because the Yakuza thug rolled an 8 and you rolled a 10, you've dealt 2 damage to the Yakuza thug's real health. You bitch! You're going to pay for that!
Yeah, well... Fuck, I don't even know the hell your name is.
Speaking of, that's the end of his turn. Jocelyn, it's now your turn. So,
How does secret actions work again?
secret actions. Whenever you take an action during your turn, you can also lay down a secret action. Think of it kind of like putting down a trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can have a number of secret actions laid down equal to your brain's score. Secret actions are simply things that you can say occurred, and whenever it becomes opportune for you to reveal them, you can reveal that secret action, and it now becomes canon. If you want to lay down a secret action, you can do so at any time during your turn. No action. You don't use your action for it. You can simply lay down a secret action.
Can it be part of a secondary action?
It can be part of a secondary action, absolutely.
Okay. Alright. Is the knife on the floor?
Yeah, the knife has been scattered off to the right, about, we'll say, 2 meters to the right.
Oh, is it? Okay, so is this like meters? Oh, I see, okay. It's based on meters, and squares are 2 meters, I see.
Yes.
Does it look like this guy has a gun on him or anything?
No, it doesn't look like he has any other weapons. He sort of drew the knife from underneath his waistband, so maybe he has other concealed weapons, but nothing visible.
Okay. Jocelyn is gonna do the trademarked Joestar family technique. Get the fuck away. Because she doesn't want anything to do with this guy. She doesn't know where she is. There's somebody threatening her, and she's not in a place that she knows, so she just wants to kind of duck past him.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's going to... How far can she move in a turn, I guess?
You have 15 meters.
Oh shit! Is it like opportunity attacks or anything?
There are no standard opportunity attacks. However, characters might have some sort of trait or ability that lets them make opportunity attacks.
Cool.
But
Okay,
it's
so can we-
it's specific to that character.
You said speed is 15 meters? You can move,
15.
or-
Yeah, 15 meters.
Okay, if it's done in 2 meter squares, then it only means 7 squares then. So what she's gonna do is it an? It's not an action. Is it an action to move? Can you just move?
No, you have 15 meters of movement.
Okay, and this is a crossing. Are the cars blaring past, or are they currently stopped?
The cars are like moving, but it's not like an extreme speed. This is inside of a city. We're talking 30 miles an hour.
Okay, so she's moved 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In terms of actions, can she sprint? Is that an action that you can do?
You can attempt to sprint.
Okay. Where does this lead off to?
It leads further down the street. You can attempt to run down that street.
is actually for fun. Is this a guitar shop?
That is a guitar shop, yes.
Does it look open?
It does not look open. In fact, you notice now that it's very late in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was 8 a.m. by your last memory. Now it's almost, well, it is evening. It's almost nighttime.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it simple. So I still want to see what this guy wants to do, but I'm just gonna use my action to book it, and I think I'll make if that's allowed, I'll make a secret action.
Alright, you
My
can place.
secondary.
Yeah, you lay down a secret action.
Okay, I'll put it in my. I think there's a secret action box.
There's a secret action section on your character sheet.
What does the name mean? Like I see there's a name box, a role box, and a description box.
If it is a special move that you're putting down as a secret action for like your stand or something. An example would be Star Platinum's Star Finger. Like, let's say you decide to lay down Star Finger as a secret action if the opponent gets close to monologue or gloat within, like 2 meters, you're gonna extend your stand's finger to pierce their head. That kind of thing. But yeah, so Jocelyn, you're going to sprint as your main action to get to there and lay down a secondary, or lay down a secret action?
Yep.
Alright. 2 figures come running into view, dressed in the same sort of black suits, tatted up with sunglasses. However, they don't seem scared of you. In fact, they don't seem like they're after you at all. They're running scared of something behind them. Run! Quick! He's after us! As, zooming around the corner, another figure appears.
Oh shit.
In hot pursuit of these 2 Yakuza thugs. Why don't you give us a quick physical description of the character?
Jet is in. He's in a kind of like almost attire that they're in, but his is kind of more colorful and vibrant. He's got like a light blue like suit jacket, and underneath is kind of like this bright pink shirt, no tie, buttons pretty far down his chest, kind of exposing some of his chest hair, and he's kind of like almost like track star running after these guys, kind of like arms swinging forward in hot pursuit.
All right.
He's got very kind of large, bushy, curly hair at the top. That's kind of almost styled into like an afro mullet.
Jesus. All right. So go ahead, Jet, and roll me your bronze. As your initiative. Perfect. Now, Jet, you're not just any normal human. In fact, you're some sort of unique individual. You are what's known as a stand user. So, Jet, since you are a stand user, you also get to roll your stand's speed and add that to your initiative.
What is that?
Let's see.
Oh, speed. Okay.
Speed,
There's
yes.
a stat speed.
Yep. So your initiative is 15. So let's add you to the initiative. All right. And let me add. We'll just have all the Yakuza thugs act on the same turn. All right. Jet, you're in hot pursuit of these 2 Yakuza thugs.
Okay. So I guess, since they're not looking at him,
No.
he's gonna extend one of his arms and Jocelyn will be able to see almost like sheets of paper kind of peeling off his arm.
Do I have a stand yet? Because I don't know if I'd see that.
It is.
It's part of his body, so I think
It is.
anybody
Yes.
could really see
It
it.
is an integrated stand.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's gonna look a bit freaky. So can I capture 2 of them and almost make like a band around their feet so that when they run they trip?
Yeah, you can attempt to like craft
Okay.
a
You know
band around
those
the feet.
family races where your feet are tied together and you have to like work together.
Yeah.
So I want to tie the top one's right leg to the other one's left leg, so that they either have to work together or they're both gonna trip.
All right.
So the paper comes extending from his arm, almost kind of like fashioning a rope, as he's gonna wind it around their legs.
All right. As sheets of paper begin flowing off of your arm, binding around their legs. Since this is your stand acting, go ahead and roll me your stand's durability. And let's see if it sufficiently is durable enough to at least contain them. And they will roll contested bronze. Alright. You send them sprawling to the floor as the paper wraps around both of their ankles, sort of linking them together, and they end up in a tumbled heap at Jocelyn's feet. They take 5 damage.
I'm gonna do a secret action as well.
Okay, you do a secret action. The thugs...
And as oops, sorry, he's just gonna also move up to them, and he's
Yeah.
gonna motion to kind of like almost grab them both by their collars.
Yep.
I also can't move my token.
You can't move your token. Oh, drag yourself out. I think that's the reason why.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, so he'll go over to them and kind of like motion to grab them by the scuffs of their collar.
All right. With that, the Yakuza thugs are up. They stumble to their feet. Let go of me! No, you let go of me! I'm not holding on to you! As they attempt to coordinate their running away from you. They're going to roll a brains check to make sure that they can coordinate their ability. So, when rolling a normal sort of, I guess, an ability check would be the best equivalent for those of you that play D&D. When rolling a ability check in Jojo's, it's not against a contested DC or against a set DC. Whenever you roll an ability check, you simply need to beat a specific value based on the difficulty of an action. So in this case, I would say attempting to coordinate your movement, we'll say it's a moderate difficulty. So that would be a DC 6. And they rolled a 6. So they do manage to move. I'll say, however, your stand does hamper their movement, so they will only move half speed as they stumble away from you, attempting to rush past Jocelyn. However, when they do so, Jocelyn, what they do is they sort of like try to bull rush you aside, slamming you against the sort of pillar that you're standing next to. How are you counteracting? Rex?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to step away for just a quick sec. You said
Oh,
they're
okay.
coming for me.
Yeah, they're attempting to rush past you. One of them is slamming you to the side against this pillar here. How are you counteracting?
I'm gonna trip him up. Like if he's pushing me to the side, I'm gonna.
Alright.
Is he like? I'm just gonna move aside and then kind of extend my leg out to trip him as he runs.
Alright.
He's not getting pushed around.
Yeah, you attempt to trip him. I'll say that's just a bronze check against their brains check. They're attempting coordinated movement.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You sweep the leg out from under them. Unfortunately for them, it's the leg that's tied to the other friend, as they both end up in another sprawled heap on the ground, piled at your feet, Jocelyn.
Nice.
Both of them groaning, as they both take 2 damage from that contested check.
Yeah, she's gonna say, step off.
Alright, Jocelyn, you're up.
What about this guy up here?
He is going to watch, and the moment he sees Jet, you see his eyes widen in fear as he immediately books it. Is he going to run? So 15 meters, and then 15 meters again. As he is going to run for safety. Alright, Jocelyn, you're up.
Okay, are these guys on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, these guys are on the floor.
Alright, she's had a bad day. She doesn't know what the fuck is going on. These guys look like punks. So, what she's gonna say, you think you can just push a girl around? Come on. She's just gonna, like, kick them in the nuts while they're down.
Alright. As you do so, your anger, your fury flows through you. Your fighting spirit as something begins to manifest around you. Jocelyn, why don't you describe what appears around you?
Oh my god, okay. Imagine there's a color palette shift. I suppose
Naturally.
I imagine manifesting from the energy of a stand. What would appear to happen is you'd hear like the chime of what sounds like a bicycle, and suddenly kind of rolling in would be on the ground would be this BMX bike with kind of like a purple sheen to it, and it looks almost like ethereally menacing, if that makes sense. So I suppose on the side it would have a variety of different sponsorship logos, but it would also have the traditional Joestar star on the actual like paintwork, and on each kind of wheel, painted into it would actually be a star. So when she rides it and it spins at a high speed, you'd see like a rotating star.
Yep, this bike sort of begins to appear with an almost menacing, cheery chime of like a bicycle bell. As Jocelyn, you know, seeing the stand, it's your bike. This is almost an extension of you.
Well, she's in a very uncomfortable situation right now, and she's never felt more comfortable than being on a bike, so she's gonna get on the bike.
Yeah, you mount this BMX bike, and you feel almost as if you have an intricate and instinctual control over this bike.
Okay. I suppose when she gets upon it, the rest of the track racing outfit will then kind of surround her and kind of cover her. So it follows like a very similar kind of color scheme to the bike itself in its design. And there's 2 guys in front of her. So she's just gonna ride them down.
Yep. These two guys lying on the ground see you mount what looks to be air as you just attempt to run them over.
No, it's meant to be a visible stand.
Oh, it's a visible stand. Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's a visible bicycle.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So they see a bicycle just appear from nothing, from the ether, and then are you running them like running them over, or how are you riding them down?
Yeah. Because she wanted to get somebody just try to push past her and slam her to the side. She's not going to take that. So what she's going to attempt to hop over this guy, and kind of as she's kind of hopping over it, spin the back of the bike around the front tire to kind of whack him on the head.
All right, yeah.
Go around hers.
All right. So you do like a bicycle roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
All right. So in this case, this is your stand acting. So your stand would roll power against this Yakuza's bronze as he attempts to tough out the blow.
Do I add brawn to it, or is it just a roll?
It's just your stand's power.
So do I roll there's a modifier? What does that do?
The modifier is for if you're doing like an ability check or something like that.
Okay. So I'll roll the power then. That's 14.
All right. He rolls bronze. Highest he can roll is a 10, as that is in more than enough to eliminate the rest of this Yakuza thug's real health. As the bike slams into the side of his face, and you see like his head sort of snap to the side, and a tooth gets knocked out of his mouth, clattering into the middle of the street as he is out cold.
And I hopped over him, so I'd be over here, I guess. And then Jet would be in front. What is a secondary action? Like, is that another attack?
No, a secondary action cannot be used to interact with an enemy, but it can be used to interact with the environment, move things around. So, like, say, picking up an object, reloading a gun, opening a door.
Like an object,
like
a bonus
it's a
slash
bonus
object
action.
interaction.
Yeah, it's a bonus slash object interaction.
This other guy is like, she doesn't know who Jet is, so she's gonna look him up and down. Does he look to be? What is he wearing? Like,
he's wearing like a colorful suit, like the same style suit that they would wear, but his is the outside of the suit is blue, and the inside he's wearing like a bright pink shirt.
Okay. And you look to be kind of chasing after them.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'll take. Actually, I'll take a secret secondary action. And what I will do is I'll look at Jet and I'll say, "What's up with these punks? Why are there so many of them?" That's what she's gonna do.
What was I chasing them for?
They are
were they doing
Yakuza.
before?
Oh, they were selling drugs.
Okay.
I take a quick secondary action.
All right. Jet, you're up.
He's gonna menacingly walk up to this one.
All right. So you
And
like
he's
is
just
it like a
gonna say-
swagger walk as you do it as well?
Yeah, now that they're within his reach,
Okay. You're in my reach.
he's gonna say, "Pardon me," and he's gonna step in front of her for a second, and
Alright.
he's just gonna say, "These guys are punks," and he's gonna turn his two arms into like almost like a big shovel,
Yep.
and he's gonna scoop this guy's feet, and he's gonna like try to toss him, and I would like him to land.
I think the guy at the
on the
bottom.
square.
I think the guy in the bottom is knocked out.
The bottom one is knocked out. Sorry, let me X him out. He has been knocked unconscious.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Can you enter my square? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can occupy another person's square.
Okay, I'll move myself slightly off. So
Yeah, he just says, "Excuse me," and then he'll stand in front of her, and he's gonna make both of his arms like two shovels, and he's gonna scoop the bottom of this dude's feet. And if it's successful, I would like him to land on top of this manhole cover.
Okay, so you're just like sort of flinging him.
Yeah.
All right. This Yakuza thug is going to attempt to roll away from the attack.
Also, does one of my traits have to do with this?
I don't know. What trait would you like to apply?
I have a trait called Hero in Your Own Right. +2 bonus when doing heroic and honorable acts, and I put examples: protecting citizens, fighting off thugs, stopping drug deals, stopping muggings, etc.
Yeah, I think that falls under the trait here. So this is a good example to bring up how traits work. You asked to use the trait, and yes, I think it applies in this situation. So go ahead and roll your since this is you acting physically as your stand. I'm going to say this will be your character's bronze roll, but you may add your stand's power modifier to it.
Okay. So bronze.
And then what is your power modifier?
+3. And then I had hero in your own right as a +2 bonus.
Exactly. So, yeah. So you have a 5
So I
plus
have it
3,
be a 10.
and then a +2 would be a 10. As he is going to attempt to roll bronze and roll out of the scoop. As he almost manages it, but you manage to sort of like tip him out, and he goes tumbling across the pavement to the manhole cover.
All right, and would this trigger my secret action?
I don't know what your secret action is. What is your secret action?
So with my secondary action, I had my paper move this manhole out of the way, and then my secret action was to cover the manhole cover with like a paper, but it was disguised as a newspaper.
Oh.
So he flies on top of the manhole cover, and then he just kind of.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so in this case, you were rolling a secret action check against this thug. So the thug rolled over the manhole cover, and he doesn't realize because it's not actually there. So you get to roll a contested secret action check. This was a secret action used for a specific reaction when it took into account an unassured result. So in this case, it is a 2d6 secret action die. You also get to add your brain score and any relevant trait.
Okay. My brains is 3. Do I just roll my brains?
No. It's just your score. So 5 plus 3, and then your hero trait is a 2. So that is wait, no, wouldn't it be 9? 5 plus 2 brains plus 2 from hero. Wait, what's your hero? Yeah. Okay.
Well, my brains is 3.
Oh, your brains is 3. Sorry, then yeah, it would be 10. The Yakuza needs to make another bronze check to attempt to catch themselves at the edge of the manhole cover.
Okay.
As he takes 3, plunging into the sort of hard.
Before he falls, can
ahead.
I do a secondary action?
What is the secondary action?
I wanna yoink the vial out of his front coat pocket.
All right. He doesn't have a vial, but he does.
Or whatever the drug was.
Yeah, whatever the drug. Yeah. You yoink what appears to be a small packet of white, you presume cocaine.
Okay. So what he uses to yank it out is like almost kind of an extension of his own hand, like a hand that's kind of folded into origami. Just kind of yoinks it out of his pocket before he falls. As
you hear a crash down below. As it doesn't sound like he landed in sewage, it just sounds like he landed on concrete. As he is gone. And with that, initiative is over. The Yakuza have either fled or been defeated.
The hand will float back, Jet, and attach to his body.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll just examine it, kind of not really acknowledging Jocelyn.
Yeah. In your hand is a white sort of, not Ziploc bag, but like bundled up plastic, almost like a, you know those old baggies that you put sandwiches in where you just fold them closed? It's like one of those full of cocaine.
Exactly what I was looking for. And he'll look over to Jocelyn's ethereal bike.
She's gonna look back towards you and she's gonna say, I'd say thanks, but I don't know what the hell's going on. Who are you? Who are these thugs? What the hell was all of that?
Just a bunch of punks selling drugs, and he'll lift up the baggie to show her.
Have I seen this specific type of bag before?
I mean, it's a bag of cocaine, so
you done
presumably...
cocaine?
Oh. Just cocaine. I'm just reminded of the Arnold Schwarzenegger scene from like that Russian movie he did where he just pulls out cocaine.
Cocaina.
Cocaine.
So when Jet speaks, he's very tall. He's about 6'3". His hair is like black and curly and maybe a little bit frizzy, and he looks very Hispanic. But when he speaks to you, it sounds like it's not broken English, but you can tell that he definitely has an accent that's neither Hispanic or American.
Okay. As he speaks, Jocelyn's gonna say, "Habla español?"
He just cocks his head to the side.
So,
Is that an acknowledgement of yes or no?
What are you talking about, pretty much?
She asked in Spanish, "Do you speak Spanish?"
So he did not answer.
Oh, okay.
It looks like he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Okay, even more interesting.
So this guy beside me is knocked out, right?
in fact, Jet, I believe that would trigger a flaw, as she does not seem to recognize what ethnicity you are. Jet, what's your flaw?
Ethno outcast. I have a negative. I have a penalty when his ethnicity is questioned or poked fun at. So I guess he would kind of like narrow his eyes a little bit and just say, "Oh, she's not really doing anything bad though. She's just
No. But
she wanted to kind of know, like, because you said your accent was a bit weird, and you said it was like he looks Hispanic, so she was kind of curious on that.
His accent's very. He sounds like the thugs, like they're kind of almost broken English, like Japanese accent type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
He would just say that I grew up in America, is what he would reply.
Yeah, well, are more of them coming? Should we get out of here?
Not if they know what's good for them. And he's gonna pick up this guy and throw him over his shoulder.
Alright, you kidnap this thug.
Where are you going and what are you doing? You shouldn't be around this type of area if you're not from here.
I have no idea. I kind of woke up here with one of them pulling a knife at me and asking me for a vial. That's all I know.
Probably has something to do with that, and he's gonna try to like kick the bicycle, not very hard, but kind of like point at it with his feet. Probably something to do with that.
I think it'd be like trying to kick a steel wall.
I got somebody that you might want to meet then.
Well, as long as I can get some answers quick.
And Jet's gonna take her to Eric.
A good friend named Eric, indeed.
Okay, so in this rush hour traffic, we're gonna reenact rush hour here. With Jet unable to speak English properly.
Alright, so before we get to Eric, we have another sort of scene to get to. A flashback.
We're gonna have Liza just shooting out people.
A flashback as it's back to where we were, but the time is different. It's the middle of the day, and we are outside of Michael's mansion. A woman with purple hair and red sunglasses stands outside of the mansion, double checking what appears to be a small note that has its address for the mansion printed on it. And this is indeed where you're supposed to be. Why don't you give us a description of what you look like?
Alright. Liza is 5'11", of average weight. and build. She is wearing a black leather jacket with a pink button-up shirt beneath it, with jeans and black boots. Over her shoulder is just a very like simple olive drab sling bag that doesn't seem to be, too ornately decorated. She does have a gold necklace around her neck, along with just a very small amount of jewelry. As she adjusts her sunglasses and looks over the manor, then back to the note, then nods to herself.
Yeah. This appears to be the source of what you're here for, at any rate. You're almost certain. You can see that the front doors have been kicked in. One hangs askew on its hinge, splintered wood scattered across the floor behind it. A man, dressed in what appears to be a white button-up with a pink Armani suit draped over his shoulders, is using a vacuum to sort of vacuum up the scraps. He doesn't seem to have noticed that you're standing in the driveway of his mansion.
Liza will turn around and listen carefully, to see if she hears any sirens coming.
No, doesn't seem to be any sirens. There doesn't seem to be any witnesses.
All right. Then yeah, she'll make her way up the steps. And will stop to about right here, and kind of lean inside and kind of like knock on the wall, I guess.
Yeah. The man looks up from his vacuuming, shutting off the vacuum, and approaches. "Oh, hello, can I help you?" "Whoa, hello, can I help you?" As he sort of like does a double take.
It seems that you've had a little bit of a problem with your door here.
"Oh, just some rude visitors. Come in. Can I get you anything to drink? Why don't you have a seat?"
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Yes, just some water would be nice. It is uncharacteristically warm here.
"Ah, the Miami heat, that'll get you. So, what's your name, Smirnoff?"
My name is not important right now, but what is yours. You wouldn't happen to be, Mr. Giorgio's, would you?
"Ah, the one and the same. I see you're here after my wares. I'm afraid my stock has been sorely diminished by a troublesome little brat." As he sets a glass of water on the table in front of you.
Did Liza watch him pour the glass?
Yeah, yes.
All right, okay, yeah. She'll take a sip then, and then she'll say, "Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I suppose in your line of work, busted doors and the occasional theft is to be expected, no?"
Yeah, you could say that.
Well,
Though most people tend not to mess with me and get away with it.
No, I would assume not. Well, I can promise you that I am not here for any trouble. I am simply here on behalf of some very, very wealthy clients that are interested in the sort of services you can provide.
Of course. What's your poison?
Well, I'll have you know that my clients are looking for something that cannot just be found on any street corner or in any back alley den, if you catch my drift. They're looking for something more refined.
Of course, no. I have just the most exquisite things. Anything in particular that you're looking for? MDMA? Acid? Cocaine?
No. A little bit more highbrow than that, I'm afraid. But lucky for you, there's nothing that I'm looking to acquire today. I'm just simply trying to put out some feelers and get a contract in place. My clients are looking for something that goes by the name of Right Fix.
As you say that, his face immediately goes blank. Never heard of it. I'm sorry.
You sure about that? I was told that you have the connection. There is a lot of money in it for you. As she will, she'll reach into her bag and try to pull something out of it.
Yeah. What are you pulling out of it?
She pulls out a billfold and puts $200 down on the table.
He eyes the money, and you can see his hand sort of like twitch toward it. And then he settles it to his side, sort of like smoothing down the his pants. As much as I would like to provide whatever right fix is, I'm afraid I have no idea what that is. I'm a purveyor of exotic goods, sure, but nothing non-existent. I don't sell fairy tales, I'm afraid.
She'll take the money back and put it back in the billfold and say, "Well, then I must at least thank you for the water and thank you for your time. I'm afraid that I have no business I can conduct here."
Of course, no problem. What was the name again, in case I need to contact you? Yeah, he offers a hand.
She will pull out a little journal and tear off a page and write down a number on it. "If you do happen to find a supplier of this, I can assure you I can make it very much worth your while." And she'll slide the number over.
As you go to like slide the number over the table, he reaches out with his hand and sort of like pins your hand against the table.
She'll look up and she'll say, "I can assure you, you don't want to do that."
Oh? Why not?
"Because people who touch me have a tendency to lose their hands."
Well, I have something important to tell you.
"You don't have what I want. I very that much doubt I want to hear it."
Well, I've heard my own rumors about right fix. Listen close, as he sort of like begins to like lean across the table to whisper to you.
"Very well. What is it?"
And as he leans in closer, you hear him say, sort of almost under his breath, "Reckless whisper," as a figure erupts from his body, sort of like emerging as a stand appears. Before you can react, it leans in close. The stand speaks. "You're hunting Jocelyn Joaquina." And then it fades back into his body. Anyway, I think you better go. You have a lot of work to get done, right? You're looking for right fix.
"Da, and I think I know just who has it. I appreciate the information. If it pans out, I will be back with a small reward."
The man grins and does like a sloppy two-finger salute. Dos vidania.
Yeah, she'll leave.
That was noon. Now it's evening once more. I'm afraid I don't have a map for this, so this will be theater of the mind. You arrive at a battered and sort of run-down corner office space that's been rented by a man whose business proclaims to be Eric Astor's. Eric, what does your shop look like?
It would be about 2 blocks from two stores down from the video rental store.
The video rentals. The Blockbuster. It'd be a Blockbuster, yeah.
Blockbuster.
Those weren't out of business yet at this time.
There's no neon sign or anything, but it does say Eric Astor's investigator for hire at the top in bright green text on like a plain rectangular sign. It is immaculately aligned, perfectly horizontal. The windows look extremely well polished, and there's not a speck. You notice that, unlike the rest of the sign, there's not a speck of grime in front on the section of sidewalk that his store is in front of.
So it's like you've got like a like grimy sidewalk with like, you know, dried gum and little like flex, and then yours, like the section right in front of the store entrance, is just perfectly clean.
Yes.
Alright. Alright. Jet, you lead Jocelyn to the front of Eric's, office.
Every time Jet shows up to Eric's office, he leaves it a little dirtier than before he arrived, as he will dump the body of the unconscious man inside the doors of Eric's office, perhaps making papers fly around that have been neatly stacked on the desk, or maybe accidentally knocking off some stuff, getting dirt from his shoes, kind of getting all over the carpet.
Speaking of the interior of Eric's office, Doge, why don't you describe what Eric's office looks like?
So, the most immediate thing you notice is a big bulletin board to the right side of the room, covered with pin papers. You notice that he doesn't just use one pin for each paper, he uses 4 pins on each paper, on each corner of the paper. So that way they're perfectly laid flat against the board, showing various, you're not sure, but some of them might show a city map, some of them might show profiles of people, not like appearance wise, not like their information, just various notes that you might not be able to make sense of at a glance. There are several boxes stacked up neatly behind a desk in the back of the room. There's a small electrical fan on one corner, and just like the rest of the store, the desk itself is neatly organized. There's a cup that is tall, and you swear you can see it's like a semi-opaque cup. It's like one of those blue plastic cups that you might see at a party.
Mm-hmm.
And you see in the light, you might see the silhouette of some pens and pencils inside of it. And sitting at the desk, leaned back, and I almost expecting you to do that when you clock in, because you can see the glass of the door. He's just leaning back, and when you approach the front, he raised his head and immediately pulled out a cigarette from his pocket and blew on it. It's like, making a mess again, I see. Sorry, what's your character's name again? Jet, right?
Jet, yeah.
Making messes again, I see, Jet. And not just in front of my store. Or in front of my office.
Somebody's gotta take out the trash. Or bring in the trash.
It's gonna bring in the trash.
Right. And you notice that after he takes one puff of his cigarette, he drops it into another cup on his desk. And if you watch very closely, as he drops the cigarette, you might catch the glimpse of it disintegrating almost immediately as it leaves his hand. But you're not sure. Well, what brings you? I see you brought a friend. I believe... the rising BMX star, Jocelyn Joestar.
Joestar?
Oh wait,
Joaquina.
Joaquina, Jocelyn Joaquina.
It seems my name does spread fast.
I have a quick question before we get into it any further. Sprout,
Yep.
Eric and I, we know about each other's stands, right?
Yes. You guys are aware of each other's stands.
Okay, sorry, that was it.
Well, I'd ask for an autograph, but I feel as though you're not here for that kind of thing.
There's a lot of weird stuff that's happened today. I'd just like some answers. And I've got, like, a whole life to get back to, so yeah, the quicker we can get to that, the better.
He seems to be in the same kind of situation as us. Show him your bike.
She's gonna ride the bike indoors in the office.
There's like tire tracks in the carpet now.
Fancy rig you got there. Doesn't look like the one you normally use, though.
Yeah, this one's got a bit more style to it. Look, I wasn't happy with the color scheme they picked out for me either as well, but, you know, Serco wanted their branding on it, so who am I to judge?
Life of a professional. Can't say I can relate. He gets up from his desk and stands up. He's too short for average height right now. He wears a purple trench coat that fits his form pretty tightly. You notice that he has a gold chain necklace along with another necklace, at the end of which appears to be a golden ring that matches another golden ring that he wears on his wedding finger. He's also wearing a white fedora. He's a man of light complexion with blonde hair and blue eyes. So then, take a seat, I suppose. You can tell me all about your night.
So you're like an investigator here, right?
That's right.
So you're a cop.
Well, I'm sure even you know this, but there are some places even the cops won't dig into.
Wait, I remember you. You were at that party the other evening, right? You came by, asked questions.
I may have visited, and that's where I met. And he nods his head towards Chet. You're a messy friend here.
Huh. Small world.
Small indeed.
I seem to just have a sort of a magnetism to unique individuals.
You also leave pretty heavy tracks.
That too. Does
Speaking of heavy tracks, sorry about the carpet.
That's alright. We'll clean it up tomorrow morning.
I'll put you in touch with somebody that's good at cleaning up messes. After going through a few houses and leaving them in a bit of a state, you gotta kind of know the locals who do the cleaning up.
He walks around his desk, and before you sit down, he makes sure to align the chairs perfectly so they're facing horizontally to the desk. Now, if I had to guess by your expressions, you two have been in a bit of a rough fight recently.
Yeah, there was a bunch of, I don't know, Asian-looking dudes, and they seemed to want some vial or drug or something.
I see. Can you describe this drug?
Don't know what it looks like. They just wanted a vial off me. I'm guessing it's some form of drug.
He looks to Jet. You know anything?
it's sounds like the same thing that I've been searching for as well.
Look, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I woke up this morning in some rich dude's house. Michael Reeves or something like that. He gave me a glass of water. A bunch of those Yakuza guys showed up near his house. He said something to me, and next thing I know, some Enter the Dragon style guys got me closed in an alley with a knife to my throat.
Well, Miss Joaquina, I don't think there's anybody who willingly gets themselves tangled up in drama. Well, say from me, I suppose. He walks up to the front of his office where the windows are, and he closes the blinds. Does anything that has been said so far ring a bell in Eric's head?
Well, this would be a moment for you to roll me a brains check, Eric Asters. I will say that you're in a very organized environment here in your office, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Despite the little bit of chaos.
Despite the little bit of chaos. So go ahead and roll me a brains check. And do you have a trait that you think would apply here?
Yes. Eric's functions very well when his environment is stable and calm and organized, allowing him to gain a +1 to this check while in an organized environment.
So roll me a brains check, and you may add a +1 from your trait.
It's a d6, right?
Yes. If you just click brains on your sheet, the word brains.
Okay.
Do you have a holding cell like in your office?
No.
I'm not a cop.
Yeah,
Is that a cop?
a secret holding.
Okay.
Nor is he a serial killer.
That's enough to succeed. So when you roll a 7, you roll the category of absolute success rather than just moderate success. With an absolute success, you know, well, exactly what you were trying to figure out. What was described to you sounds like a low level in regards to who he consorts with, a low-level drug dealer by the name of Michael Georgios. He lives on the outskirts of Miami. He's known for being a supplier and dealer for the rich and the famous here in Miami. If any celebrities visit, Michael Georgios is the one that they go to. And most celebrities seem to owe him favors or do him favors. It's not uncommon to spot a celebrity or someone who's visited him doing some simple task. But usually after that, it's never any sort of like friendship, or it doesn't seem to be extortion. You only ever notice that when they meet, they do him one minor task, and then they're on their way.
He'll walk over to a drawer cabinet, the regular office ones.
Mm-hmm.
He'll open up the bottom one, which is filled with neatly aligned manila folders. Takes one out and pulls out a couple of papers. It shows the complexion of this drug dealer, as well as some basic details about his name and what Eric knows about him.
Yes.
Does this look familiar? Yes, Jocelyn. Does this look familiar to you?
Rexon? He's
He's
asking you.
he's showing you the files he has on Michael.
I don't think Jocelyn knows too much about Michael. Unless
He's showing you-
He has a picture.
That's the guy wearing sunglasses indoors. Is there like any notes about him in that file as well?
Yeah.
Does anything jog Jocelyn's memory about it?
Okay, Jocelyn, I'll allow you to roll me a brains check. However, this will be the first collaborative check that's happening. Since this is two characters working on the same activity, in this case attempting to jog Jocelyn's memory, Jocelyn, you are the one rolling the brains check, which means you roll a 1d6 plus your brains modifier. However, since Eric is assisting you, if he has any active traits helping him right now, you get to apply those active traits. So since where Eric is in his organized environment, you get Eric's organized trait while making your brains check. So you get a +1 bonus.
Yeah, +1, he said. Okay. 5.
Alright. that is a partial success. Moderate success. With that, you remember that while you were partying at Giorgio's house, you did find his stash of drugs. You might have sampled a little bit, but one thing caught your eye. A vial of sort of brown, rust-like, glimmering dust. It almost looks like shiny brown glitter. The vial itself is mounted with some sort of breathing apparatus, almost like a CPAP mask, something you wear over your nose and mouth. And depressing it would sort of agitate all the glitter inside, sending it to be inhaled. And you remember putting that on and, well, giving it a quick taste to see what this is. You've never seen this before. And then, after that, you remember feeling uncomfortably warm, almost like a fever. You feel not great. You feel sick as you decide you've had enough of the party. You just lie down on Michael's couch as the rest of the night rages on around you. As partygoers use you to sort of like balance drinks on, that kind of thing. As you feel just absolutely horrible as you fall asleep. And that's what you remember as the night comes back to you.
So, this guy, how much does your character already know about him? Is it everything that's on the file, or is there?
I would say since you can probably be scanning the file like as Eric is holding it out to you, you can learn it. So you would know what's in the file now at this point. So you're reading it with Eric.
Okay, so she's gonna tell Eric what she knows about him, everything that she kind of remembers.
Even from this morning, earlier this evening too?
Yes.
So, a gang was after him. And he got them to go after you instead.
Did they look like the guys we fought in the alley? The
They
people
did.
who are coming after. No, he's asking.
Jocelyn, gotcha.
Can you repeat that story?
The men who were trying to chase after Michael. Do they look like the men that we fought in the alley?
Well, they seem like Yakuza. I remember seeing a few
his
movies.
His expression kind of narrows a little bit.
They look like, those guys in all the movies, the Japanese ones with all the cool tattoos.
Looks like Jet. Does he have cool tattoos?
Underneath his sleeves are kind of partially rolled up around his hands, and it would appear that he has imagery on his arms.
Would Eric know that Jet used to be in the Yakuza?
Yeah.
Don't suppose they were familiar to you.
It seems like they are putting plans into motion. They're trying
Also, sorry to interrupt, your hands turned into paper.
You can make an ethereal bike. He shrugs.
Looks pretty real to me.
What's going on with that?
Well,
Ah.
it's my stand. That I just came up with that word now.
Eric, you have notes on stand users.
Jocelyn is gonna Jocelyn's gonna kick something and put down her own bike stand to rest the bike. and that's my stand, I guess.
Is there records of people suddenly manifesting stands?
Suddenly, no. Typically, it's something from your research is something that is they've always had kind of thing. It's not something that happens out of the blue, especially not this late in their lifetime.
So you're saying that this bike appeared tonight?
Well, there was this rusty bike against the wall that I got pushed into, and then next thing I know, it turns into this dream bike, one that I've always dreamed of riding, and I get on it, and it seems to have a good feel to it.
And you have no recollection of ever doing anything similar to this before?
First time, I guess.
Strange. You see, he makes sure to look to the windows to make sure nobody's listening or standing nearby.
You peek outside. You don't see any nearby listeners.
Jet's right. If the information is correct, what you manifested is called a stand. It can take many forms, but it's always it's a manifestation of you, your spirit, I suppose you could call it, and it grants you special abilities that are seemingly otherworldly. Did you remember doing anything that would normally be impossible when you manifested it?
I mean, nothing I couldn't already do with a bike, I guess. So this stand thing, how did you guys get yours?
Stands are brought about by special circumstances. Usually you're born with one, or a very obvious event will have you obtain one. It's very rare, especially in your... Actually, it's unheard of that someone suddenly manifested a stand without any prior event, major event happening. So something must have triggered yours.
No, I can tell that you have a very strong fighting spirit.
Well, I've never been down to shy away from a fight, and someone trying to push me over, well, that just pisses me off.
Speaking of, what happened to the other ones you were fighting?
Oh,
Other?
one ran away, and the other is somewhere in the sewers of Miami, I'd imagine, about now. I didn't kill him, don't worry.
Well, he kind of hit something that wasn't water.
Wouldn't be the first one. Best not to look too far into it.
But this one, and Jet's gonna grab the Yakuza grunt that he shipped off to the floor. He's gonna grab him by his collar and kind of see if he can shake him awake.
You shake him awake. He groans for a bit before he opens his eyes. Whoa. And then, he sees you and immediately sort of cringes.
What? He's gonna whisper something to him in Japanese. He's going to say, "It's in your best interest to cooperate."
The Yakuza thug nods, his face setting into, a determined grimace.
And then he'll kind of push him forward into one of the three open chairs that Eric had lined up.
Okay. The thug takes a seat, staring directly straight ahead, which just happens to be Eric, but it's more staring off into the space and you happen to intersect that.
Eric ignores how the chair has moved a couple centimeters. evening. I see you had a rough night.
Average night in Miami.
That it is, though. Unfortunately, that has landed you in some trouble with my friends here. What were you doing tonight, going after someone as well known as Jocelyn here?
We were hunting a woman. Description fitting her. They say she has a dose of right fix.
Right fix.
Dose of what now? Might need to narrow that down.
Right fix. Right fix.
Right fixu.
Yes, the thug seems to get aggravated.
Is that a new thing on the market? I mean, not that I take the stuff, but, you know, there's a lot of parties going on.
If the Yakuza was involved, it can't be any ordinary drug. Why don't you tell us more about it?
I don't know. The bosses tell us what to do. We just do it. We're told
Are
to
you
get...
sure that's all you can tell us?
That's all I can tell. We get the doses of right fix before either the cartels or the mobs can get their hands on them. They show up in markets, and I get an order to take them. We were supposed to take them from some dealer named Michael Georgios, but he said that she, and he like sort of nods with his nose at Jocelyn, had it.
Oh, I never took anything from him. I mean, I was on a couch of his stuff, but I didn't take anything.
Gears are spinning in Eric's head. I see. And what were you meant to do? Were you supposed to bring her back?
No,
Or simply retrieve the drug?
Just take the vial and then kill her.
Well, that's not very nice.
Jed is going to make a paper's gonna peel off of his forearm and kind of fashion itself into a knife. And he's gonna point it at this Yakuza grunt, and he's going to say, "And what did your leader plan on doing with these doses?" And he'll narrow his eyes at him.
All right, here's a good example of a bravery check. Jet, go ahead and roll me contested bravery against the Yakuza thug as you attempt to intimidate this thug.
8. I don't think I have any traits that will be good against this.
Alright.
Because I'm not really doing anything heroic right now.
Alright. 5. The thug is sort of like pale and sweating. All I know is there's a war brewing between the mob, the cartel, and the Yakuza. Our family wants to have as many doses of right fix. We need stand users. That's the boss's orders. That's it. That's all I know. Now kill me and get it over with. He sort of like bares his throat.
Fortunately, blood is really very hard to clean it off the carpet. So, that won't be happening in my office. What can happen, though, is you can keep your lips sealed, and we won't talk about this again.
He nods.
Jocelyn's gonna kind of square up to him and say, and if you think that you can try and weasel your way out of this situation and come back to get us later on, I'll make sure to take you out personally. Got it?
He nods again. Yes,
Show
I
my
understand.
jet.
Comprende?
Hi!
Show him the door, Jet.
Jet will the piece of paper will fold back into his skin, and he will. Does this guy recognize him?
He does.
There's
That's
no
why
way
he's...
he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He is
Okay.
is like contempt and fear.
He'll grab him again by the collar and yank him out of the chair, and kind of like drag him. Like his knees aren't touching the floor, but his legs are dragging.
Yeah.
His feet
Yeah.
are dragging against the door as he kind of pulls him out.
Yep.
And then he'll pull him up to his face one last time, and say, "The actions that you are committing against citizens of this town are." Fuck. Hold on. He's very serious. This will again be in Japanese, so his companions can't hear what he says. He'll say something along the lines of, your actions and the other actions of the Yakuza members are dishonorable.
He goes.
And
He responds in Japanese. The actions you take against the family are dishonorable.
that will trigger his one of his traits, questioned honor. So he'll have a penalty against anything that happens from now. He'll kind of like grit his teeth and say, I know where my honor lies, and it's not with what is happening between the Yakuza and the other gang members. I will find my own path. And he will throw him out the door.
Alright, you throw the Yakuza member out the door. And as you do so, you see on a light post outside, appears to be a sticky note almost, stuck to the metal of the post. And on it, you can see clearly written the words Jocelyn. The Yakuza member scrambles away, not paying to post-it note a second thought. He doesn't even seem to notice it. You see the word Jocelyn written on a post-it note, stuck to one of the streetlights outside.
He'll have his hand will fold up into a small crane, and the crane will fly over and retrieve the note off the lamppost and return it to him.
The moment the crane touches the lamppost, it freezes, and you almost it almost feels like you lose connection to that piece of your colony stand, as something seems to have eliminated that portion of your stand. It's no longer there for your senses. Oh. 1 second. Correction, I am wrong. 1 second. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. You grab the post-it note. It brings you back. I did not read that correctly.
Okay. The crane will fold back into his normal hand, and he'll look over the note.
All right. So you are attempting to examine the note?
Yeah.
All right. As you sort of like, as the hand reconnects to you and you sort of begin to like look it over, you feel your body begin to freeze. It's not your stand, but it is your body freezing in place. You can still think, you can still breathe. It's almost as if you're stuck. You can't move.
Okay.
As
He's gonna try sending some of his paper off. He'll think really hard about it and try.
Yeah,
The nature of this,
yeah. It's only him that throws it, not a stand. It's one or the other.
The nature of this effect, I will allow you to split colonies off. It won't be you, but it will be your stand. So you can use the colony stand effect. You will not be able to reconfigure your full form while you're under this stand effect.
So I can break colonies off, but like they can't come back to me.
Well, they can, but they'll be back to frozen essentially. The only freedom of movement you have right now is in colony form, which will bring us to the colony system. A colony stand can work independent of its user. You roll its own initiative, and it has the same turn setup as a user does. You get, own initiative. You have your stand's health. However, all of your stand's attributes act as if they were 2 ranks lower. So if you have an A rank, instead your rank is C. And if you have a C rank, your rank acts as an E, while your stand is in its split up colony form. It has its own turn, and that means it gets an action and a secondary action that it can use independently of yours. What is the shape of your colony stand as it begins to split off from your body, acting independently?
So when it splits off, it's kind of just like a bunch of papers kind of like floating around each other, like if there were like a storm or something.
Yep.
And then, so what his intentions were for the paper to float underneath the door of Eric's office.
Yep.
And when they get inside, they were going to make something bigger that kind of spells out enemy stand.
Okay, I like that. As Eric and Jocelyn, you watch as it's been a while now. Jet's been standing outside for some time, and now you see paper begin to flow underneath the door of your office, Eric, as it begins to sort of form out like a floating sign of enemy stand.
And if you were to look out the window, you would see him frozen in place, one hand holding up the note to examine, and then the entire left, or not entire left, the partial, like his arm on his left side, and some of his core is kind of almost missing, as the paper that was from those locations are flowing underneath the door.
And finally, you have encountered a hostile stand. So, when you encounter a hostile stand, you are allowed to attempt to burn a resolve point, to attempt to counteract the stand effect. This doesn't necessarily mean that you'll stop the stand effect or you break free of it, but it lets you attempt to make an identification against this stand effect, as well as remove the villain's advantage here. If you want to attempt to guess what the stand effect is, you can attempt to burn a resolve point and tell me what you think the stand is. And if you're correct, you remove one of the villain's advantages that they have. This is to Jet. This is to Jet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jet may burn a resolve point and tell me what they think the stand's ability is. If they can guess correctly, it removes the villain's advantage. Essentially, they get an advantage.
Sprout, I linked to you in the old Star Battle.
Yes, gotcha.
The combat theme.
Perfect. Yeah, let me grab it.
If you put it on random, it will just go through like random battle themes, I guess.
So, Mac, would you like to burn a resolve point to attempt to guess what the stand does?
Sure. Well, at least this portion of the stand, sticky note stuck in place. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna need to drop the sticky note somehow so that I can get unstuck.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be one of the effects of the stand. So you do lose the bizarre point, but the villain does not lose one of their advantages. And now Eric and Jocelyn, Jet is trapped outside of your office, frozen somehow, part of his body missing, his sacrifice of his very physical form, just to warn you, as the words "enemy stand" spell themselves in floating sheets of paper within your office, Eric. And this is where we will end for session 1.
Can I one real quick?
Yep.
Well, looks like it's already happening. Jocelyn, you said that you don't know how you ended up in this mess. But there's one thing you should know. Regardless of the context, stand users are inexplicably drawn to each other.
Amazing.
You're the Muhammad Abdul of this campaign now.
Yeah. As we hit the to be continued, the dun 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 dun, as we'll pick up next episode to see, can Jet get out of this stand? What is affecting him?
Situation.
The sticky situation? Who is the enemy stand user? What will they do to defeat our heroes? And will our heroes overcome this hidden enemy stand? Find out next episode on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Tainted Love.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hold on. I should post the.
All right. So
I'm trying to AI generate some art of the bike as we speak. That's what I've been doing.
So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I think we're gonna keep the time limit around 2 to 3 hours, somewhere in between there, because my attention span is pretty fucked. So
that's absolutely fine.
After 3 hours, I'm probably just gonna lose attention span. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I hope everyone sort of gets a grasp of the system. I've been trying to run it pretty slow. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I thought of a new stand power as
That's what your learning is for. I hope you guys had fun. I look forward to next Friday, as we'll see who this enemy stand user is that has Jet in their sticky grasp.
I wonder who.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out next time.
The boss when you fight them. The boss when they join your team.
I'll see you guys next Friday. Thank you all. I hope you had fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to play more. Shoot.